All right, friends, I am really excited because my dad is in town and he is about to build me some amazing built-in bookshelves for our homeschool room. I have been dreaming of these bookshelves for years and years. I'm finally gonna get my dream come true. I'm so excited. These will house all of our homeschool books, all of our curriculum, all of our reading books, all of our just like kid books, entertainment books, and it will also hopefully house most of our homeschool supplies as well. So I'm going to turn the camera around and do a good before so you can see the before, and then you get to see the process of us creating these built-ins and getting this homeschool room ready for the new homeschool year. Decor, things put up on the walls. I am very excited to take you along. They are finished, guys. They are looking so good. And I am about to start priming them. I got a primer that is tinted a similar color to the paint. So it will essentially be the paint of this wall. And so after I get the primer on, then probably tomorrow I will work on painting them all. And then the exciting part happens. Then we get to actually start decorating them and filling them with all of the homeschool supplies and organizational things, and that part is what I'm really most looking forward to. Well, friends, it has been about a 5-week process, but we are finally done with our homeschool room / library. And so I wanted to give you guys a tour. I'm so proud of it. As soon as we moved to this house, I had this vision of just these built-in bookshelves in this room where we could put all of our books, all of our homeschool supplies, and everything we needed. And my dad, my amazing dad, along with my husband, made my dream a reality. Now, I want to preface this video by saying I have not always had a homeschool room, okay? We started out homeschooling in our dining room when we first started, and I just pulled things out of like china cabinets and then put our books in those and like just made it work with what we have. And you can absolutely do that, okay? So you don't need a fancy schoolroom, you don't need built-in bookshelves, although bookshelves are very, very helpful. The longer you homeschool, the more you realize how helpful they are. But you do really need a place for your stuff. So whether that's like a linen closet or like an armoire kind of thing, or a cabinet, something where you can store your stuff is very helpful. But for us, we just had so many books, like really, really needed like some actual big bookshelves. I love, love, love how it turned out. The kids are absolutely loving it, and we are just enjoying this space so much. It's probably my favorite room in the house now, so I'm excited to share that with you today. Before we get started, I do want to show you guys the before of what this room looked like before we moved in, or rather like right after we moved in. Okay, friends, so here it is. This is our homeschool room. The lighting is not great right now. This is the only time of day I had to film this, and you guys are actually seeing this the day before it releases because our life has just been so busy lately. So anyways, this is it completed. I did this wall art several weeks ago, so that's been done for a while. We've also had that couch for a while. We've had the piano was at our old house. I think I'm going to start on this side of the room and then just kind of work my way around. So this is our piano that we bought secondhand at our old house. It has served us well. We actually just got it tuned and it is working great. So then that's just kind of our art study that we have right there. This is my morning basket. And then this is a little map that I actually just bought off of Amazon. And then I bought the little poster holder to go on top of it, and that is working great for our geography purposes for homeschool. And then this is one of my absolute favorite things about the whole homeschool room is our patriotic wall is what I'm calling it. I'm going to be adding more to it as we do more field trips and things like that. But a lot of this stuff I actually got when we went and did our Gettysburg field trip like about a month ago, which was so fun. And so we have a picture of like our founding fathers. Right here we have the Constitution, which I got at Gettysburg. We have, okay, so some of these guys, I really can't remember who they are because I told my husband just choose some and then we'll buy them. They were like in a really cheap postcard shop. So I can't really remember who these guys were. I think they were part of the Civil War, maybe generals. I can't remember, okay? But my husband would know. So this is a scripture verse that says, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord," which I love. 1776, and I found this at a thrift store. It's the Mayflower, which I thought was so cool. This I've had for years. This I found at Hobby Lobby years ago. One Nation Under God, if you're confused. And then just some more artwork. This is also another general, and I can't remember who it is. I love that piece of artwork. This is the Star Spangled Banner. This is the Gettysburg Address, a picture of the American flag being sewn. So this is one of my favorite spots in the whole room. And then this is just a little cheap IKEA table we got to go in here, and it is serving its purpose very well. It's already well loved and has already stains all over it, but I really don't care because this is kind of just like our kids' couch. And then this is a table my dad built me. This is a coffee table I found on Marketplace for like 20 bucks, and it's working really great too. And then I love this rug. I think I got it on Wayfair. I'll have to link it for you guys, but it is so beautiful in here, and I love how it goes so well with the walls. The walls in here were already like this from the previous owner. I did paint the molding at the top. I had the paint matched at Lowe's, but the stripes were already painted on the wall from the previous owner. So I just kind of left it like this. I'll probably need to touch it up at some point because there's a lot of marks on it, but for now it's fine. And then this desk is another Marketplace find that we found. It's an antique. It is really cool. We actually have our laptop in that long skinny drawer. And then this whole part actually comes up, which is very handy. And it has like places to store letters and stuff down there. We don't really use that very much. This chair I also found secondhand. It was like at an antique store. And then I love this old vintage American flag. I got this off of Amazon, very cheap actually. And so it really is fun to have in here. It makes a huge statement. The globe we've had forever. I love this little quote right here that says, "In this house, your best will always be enough." And then this is another little area that still needs work. Okay, so this is the other part that I need to finish up. But I want to do something with this mantle. I want to maybe do some peel and stick tile right here because I just don't like that this is pink. It's very ugly. So I'm going to be working on redoing this tile at some point and doing something with the floor right there. This is our library basket. I have just a little tag on there that says library books. So that is handy to keep our library books separated from our other books. If you know, you know. And then this is a vintage desk that I also found off on Marketplace for like $40. It is really cool. The kids use this all the time, actually, and it comes up like that. It has like a little place for ink, which I think is really cool. And then above the fireplace, we have our big marker board. I think I got that on Walmart, and it has been really great just to write just a few things down throughout the week, and really just to display the things that we're studying. So this year we are studying the national park, so I have some books displayed throughout of things that we're studying. So that's why those are out. And then we have the presidents, we have some things from our science unit, we have the national parks map, and then that's our little painting that we are studying right now. And then this is actually for our botany unit that we're doing right now. These are seeds that are germinating, and they're about to pop up. Actually, these are bean seeds that the kids planted. So we are getting to watch them grow, and that has been really, really fun. This little basket here just has things for me to write on the chalkboard with. Okay, so now we are gonna move over here to this shelf. I wish you guys could see it in a little bit better light, but it just will have to do for now. This is a printout that I have had forever in our house. It is the Philippians 4:8 scripture verse that says, "Whatever is true, noble, right, pure, lovely." I love having that hanging, especially near our books, because that's what we try to do and try to have on our bookshelves are books that glorify the Lord and that are noble and pure and lovely and beautiful. So anyways, this is the library system that I created at our old house, and I have a whole video on how I did that. So that's what all of these are for. So I have different categories. I even have our readers separated by level, and then I have a system for them. So all the books that have like a yellow sticker are level 1 readers. The ones that have a brown sticker are poetry themed books, and so on. So that, if you see these little tags, that is what that is referring to. That's kind of how I organize our library books, and I use the Library Thing app, which makes it so helpful and easy. So highly recommend checking out that video that I did about how I organize our library. But I wanted to explain that before I start showing you everything. So at the very top of this shelf is really just a lot of devotionals and parenting books. I actually have a lot more of mine and Zach's books that I need to put up here. Now that we have this shelf built, I can probably fit some more of them up there. And then we just have readers below that. And we have, these are like all of our series books that we have, well, not all of them. We have a whole collection of Lord of the Rings and Tolkien books, and those are in a special other cabinet. Then we have a section here for poetry and music, and then we have our Bible book. These books right here are like unit studies that I use for seasonal purposes, like Christmas, fall, things like that. And then I have some seasonal read alouds here. Our Christmas books, I have some family read alouds. Those are not all the ones we have. Those are just kind of the ones I like to keep close by. And then over here is like a little basket that we keep all of our rulers in. I have a bunch of like different size ones. And then we have a bunch of different timers that we like to use for our homeschool, as well as like a little learning clock. I have some of our nice watercolor pens back there. Y'all, this I just got on Amazon. I'll have to link it for you because it is so cute. It is the cutest thing I've ever seen. It is a Bluetooth speaker, because a lot of our morning time books also have an audio version. So we've been playing those a lot. And this has been so helpful to use because it's just a lot louder than my phone. And so we've been using that a lot lately. And then I have the book I wrote displayed right there. And then down here are just like some pens and pencils and erasers. This is a really cool book I just bought, you guys. It is so good. Highly recommend that. This is where I keep my teacher binder and my planner. These are my kids' commonplace books. If you know anything about Charlotte Mason, you know about that. We just had to buy those because we just joined a Charlotte Mason co-op. And so we haven't ever had these before, but I'm excited to start using them. And then I have just like a bunch of marker boards and clipboards and things like that that we use for our homeschool right there. This is just a bunch of random stuff that I need to put away. Now in the drawers, this is where This is mainly my drawer, so it has like my scissors. Well, actually, those are the kids' scissors, so those should not be there. But it has like my markers, tape that I use, things like that. The kids access this too, but mainly the stuff in here is things that I use. And then the other drawer has like my label maker, my cutter, laminator, all of those kind of things in here, my hot glue gun. And then under here, this is a little bit messy, but all of these bags are supposed to be in here. These are our nature bags. So when we go on nature hikes, we have things in here for our nature study. I got all the kids some really nice colored pencils. And then I got them a really nice sketchbook for watercoloring or for sketching with whatever they want to sketch with. I also got each child a really nice watercoloring set too to take with us. And this is cool because you put the water in the pen and so they can take it on the go, and it's really easy, and they have really been loving this, and it's been so fun. I actually got myself one that has like more colors in it, and I have been having so much fun joining them in this. Okay, so in this cabinet, we keep a lot of the electronics in that basket because we have a charging port right there, and so we can just charge them there overnight. And we normally keep headphones up there. I think all the kids are doing quiet time right now, so they're all listening to audiobooks. And then these are just some other things that I have for like my record keeping purposes. Take a minute just for this hardware though, guys. I love it so much. Got it on Amazon. It is great quality. Love, love, love the hardware here. Okay, this cabinet is one of my favorites. This one has our brain activities, and you guys know I've talked about brain activities a lot. So all of these are basically things that they can do quietly while I read aloud. So we have things like Army Men, we have Water Wow, we have things like magnetic letters, we have shape tiles, we have like these little connectors. So just things like that they can grab when I am doing morning time or even when we are doing family devotion time. And then I have lots of paper over here, different types of paper, different types of cardstock. And then this is our basket that we use to write to our pen pals. So I have just some fun stationery in here that the kids have been really enjoying using. And I have like a paper back here that has all the addresses that they need and things like that. And then we also keep the letters from their friends in here. That way we know who we need to respond to. Because since moving, we have developed a lot of new pen pals, which has been so fun. Okay, so I have to give you kind of a farther back view because this is just such a beautiful space. And I wish the lighting was better, but it is so beautiful right here. Just getting to sit here and like look out the window. I can imagine the kids sitting here reading a book while the snow falls in the winter, and it's just gonna be just the most sweet sight, and I can't wait for that. But my dad custom built this whole bookshelf. So we started out with cabinets from Home Depot, and then he just built above that. And then we added hardware and paint and all of that. But my mom actually made me these cushions when she was here. So this is just a board underneath it with foam, and then she just covered it and stapled it. And so that has been really nice. And then these lights are actually just electric. So they're not wired, and you just turn them on and off like that, and you can charge them with this little charging port. So that is really handy because we really need a little bit more extra light right here, especially if they're sitting there reading. So this area is kind of where the kids keep all of their curriculum books. So I got these containers from Walmart, y'all, and they are amazing. They are so lightweight. So we were using bins kind of like this before, but number one, they make scratches because they're metal. They're also heavy, and they're not quite tall enough, so the books just kind of flop over to the side. But these ones are just tall enough. They're lightweight. They have the handles on both sides. So these have been perfect. And I think they're only like $5 a piece. So I will try to link those for you guys if they still have them. Highly, highly recommend those. They're working so great for us. So everybody has a bin. This bin is actually our history and science bin, but I didn't have a history and science tag, so I'm just keeping our little morning time tag on there. But anyways, this is the stuff we use for history and science. And then this is all the kids like curriculum books, plus their like little pen case that they have. Okay, so let's hop up here to the very top of this shelf. This is my husband's books. Well, like a fraction of them. And then some encyclopedias that would not fit anywhere else, and some atlases. And then we have more readers. These are level 1 through 5 here. And then these are a lot of our picture books. So I keep picture books kind of strewn about throughout our house. I'm also always switching them out so that my kids don't get tired of them. But this is where a lot of them have landed for now. But we have them literally all over the house in different bookshelves. And then right here is just kind of like our reference shelf. This part right here has like dictionaries and thesauruses and things like that. These are all of the kids' portfolios that we need to access quite frequently. So that's why I keep those there. This is just some things for like morning time. All of this actually that we haven't got to yet, or it's like extra curriculum stuff. So like these are the extra books that go to some of the curriculum that we haven't gotten to yet, and things like that. Okay, and then down here we have my diffuser. I just put it in this little basket that I got at a thrift store. And then I have our handy dandy pencil sharpener. And then let me show you what's in these drawers. So we have some art supplies, some washi tape. I have just a bunch of extra crayons and colored pencils and things like that in here. Then in this drawer, we have things like scissors and glue and tape. We have index cards, glue sticks, paper clips, things like that. So this is kind of our art cabinet. We have things in here that we just pull out really quickly for like morning time. And then back there I have like sticker books, I have dry erase books, I have sketch books, and we have a bunch of like canvases that they can paint on. We have all of our paint up here. So this has been so wonderful. I can't even tell you. This has been just so nice to be able to access all of this stuff right here where we're doing homeschool every day. So nice. And then in here we have like our little paper dispenser. We have our Draw Right Now books. All of these are kind of like how to draw books and coloring books. And then we have paper that the kids can use to draw on, construction paper, writing paper, things like that. Okay, this is probably my second favorite spot in this whole schoolroom. I call this our nature corner, and this is where the kids do all kinds of fun things. The first thing I have to show you is this little basket that I got at the thrift store that is like their treasure basket. And this has been my 4-year-old's favorite thing. And you guys have got to see, he's already filled it up with so many adorable things. He has got all of these feathers in here. He's got random branches that he picked. He's got seashells and rocks. And so he is just having the best time with this basket. He calls it his treasure basket, and he just puts stuff in it constantly. This is just a pretty little print I got on Amazon. This clock I also got on Amazon. We've had that for several years. And then over here is kind of our fun little science section. So we are studying botany. And so I've got things out that we use for our botany study. And then some of the stuff we use like for our nature study, like these books here with about birds and trees in our area. And then we have, this is our old telescope that actually does not work, but I use it because I let my little ones pretend like they're using it when we're using our nice expensive one. And so anyways, we have some other little nature things back here. These are a bunch of different nature books that I love to keep on hand and easily accessible to the kids. This microscope I will link for you guys. We got this. I don't even think it was on sale, but it was a really great price, and it is such good quality. We've never had a nice microscope our whole 6 years of homeschooling, and so I finally bit the bullet and got us one, and the kids have been having so much fun with it. I have been having so much fun with it. And we were just like living our best life over here looking at everything under the sun lately. It even came with, and actually I think I purchased some extra ones, but it comes with these little slides that you can look at under the microscope that have just all kinds of different things. They have like a sunflower stem, a pine stem, dog cardiac muscle, like all kinds of really fun things to look through the microscope with. And it comes in this really nice wooden box. And so I've been really impressed with that. And then we have in this drawer just a bunch of just random things that we use for nature study, like our magnifying glasses and just, you know, all those different things. But this is another thing I wanted to show you guys is I got this on Amazon. They're like little bugs that have been preserved inside these little plastic cubes. And so the kids have been having so much fun looking at these with their magnifying glasses and looking through the microscope at them. And it's just really, really fun. There's like a bunch of them. We have our little compass here. We usually keep some binoculars here, but I don't know who has run off with them. This is their little bug catcher. Their little bug catcher tweezer things. They have been having a lot of fun with that. And so yeah, this is kind of our science area. I have geography books here. I have the Eyewitness DK books there. We have science books, history books, more history books at the very top up there. So, oh, this book, by the way, you guys, is so good. I've got to show it to you really quick because if you are into nature drawing or nature journaling, this book is so helpful and just chock full of so many amazing tips and tricks. And so we've really been enjoying looking through this book, and it's been actually really helpful. All right, friends. Well, I think that will just about do it for this tour. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing our homeschool room. There are still a few things that I want to get done in here, but for the most part, it is done. We are just enjoying it every single day. I am hoping to share kind of an update on how we are liking our life here in Pennsylvania, how homeschool's going, how my pregnancy is going very soon. So hopefully that video will be coming out next week. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to know, what is your absolute favorite thing about your homeschool room or homeschool space? I know not all of us have a homeschool space, but I would love to know, what is your favorite thing about your homeschool space? So drop that in the comments below and we can chat about it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, friends.